We often hear stories of influence, leadership, and public service, but behind many of these names are journeys that we don't know. Journeys that didn't start with titles, but with ideas, risks, and everyday decisions that slowly turned into something bigger. Today on Successory Business Lounge, our guest, Hajiya Ramatu Ibrahim, is widely known for her voice in advocacy and leadership spaces. But beyond that, she's also a serial entrepreneur, and one of her businesses that stands out is Pure Garment, a laundry and garment care business born from an everyday need that has shaped lives and has overcome the world challenges through resilience and vision. Welcome to another exciting episode of Successory Business Lounge. Let's join the conversation. So, Maya, it's great to have you on our podcast today.
Thank you.
So, please, may we know you? Who is Ramatu Ibrahim?
Thank you so much for asking. My name is Mrs. Ramatu Ibrahim. I call myself a serial person. I'm a serial entrepreneur because I do different things, a lot of things, just to make sure I make impact in my community. Presently, I am the managing director of Pure Garment International Limited, a dry cleaning firm that I have been running for 12 years. I am also the current president of the African Women Entrepreneurship Program, Nigerian chapter. I am also a business development service provider. I am an ambassador with the African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative, where I train women in my community as a community champion. So stop for there for now. Thank you.
How are you able to cope? Because with these responsibilities, you're a CEO here, you have your own businesses you're running, so how are you able to juggle this all together?
It's all about training, orientation, and support that you get from your family. It's not something I started in a day and got here. Uh, my late hubby has been a very supportive person. I got married at a very tender age, and all I wanted to do was to work in an office. I didn't want to do anything, but he advised that he cannot be an office person, and that it will not. So he brought me up. I schooled in his house. I was just a secondary school cert when we got married, and he asked, "What do I want?" Because he gave me options, but all he said is he doesn't want me to work in an office, so he wants me to run business. And that was how I started businesses. I ventured into different kind of businesses, pivoting from one business to the other. So I've actually been in the entrepreneurial space for 3 decades now.
Wow.
From one business to the
Other.
other. So what I will say here is the support, because if your family is not supporting you, there's no way you can have that balance between yourself, developing yourself, helping your family, traveling,
Yeah.
you're growing your business. So it starts from the family, as far as I'm concerned. And also, you also having that self-interest, self-awareness, knowing what you want. So as your family is supporting you, you are also there supporting them.
Okay, so we know most people know you as an advocate, women leader, and the likes, but how did your journey to Pure Garment actually start?
Good question. Thank you so much. When I started business at the age of 20. Yes, and that was when I had my first daughter, and I wanted to go to school. And it was one business to the other, just like I previously said. But one thing happened when I started event management.
Okay.
In Kaduna, everybody was doing events. And it took me time before I could differentiate myself from the others. Because what I noticed then was that everybody was in the business to make money. Yes. So I had a lot of materials. I have tents, I have canopy, I had chairs. In fact, if you go to Zaria Road, then they know me very well because I started that business without a penny. I didn't have money, but I went to them. I told them about myself. We developed relationship. I told them to come to my house, come to my office. I'm ready for us to draw an agreement, which we did, and I started that event management business without a penny, and I grew. So along the line, my hubby now said, this business is good because if you give me this place empty, I can transform it to something else. And the pure garment idea was never mine.
Oh.
It was never my own idea, it was his. Because at home, I wash his clothes,
Oh.
I press it, I press his suits, I do a lot of things. And he said, if I can take care of his fabric, I can also
You can do it as a business.
And
Wow.
I'm like, no. So we started research. For 7 years, we were researching.
Wow.
Well,
7 years.
Yes, we were researching on how to start a dry cleaning and laundry business. At the point in time, I said, I'm not doing, and he said, no, we can do it. So he keeps encouraging me until we started. And the way we started, we didn't even know. Just as we were even about to start, the space we were targeting to rent, someone else came and she rented it. Coincidentally, it was somebody I knew, and she also knows me because I used to be a designer. Yes, I had a tailoring outfit. So from there, from events, let me fast forward. So from the event management, I started the dry cleaning business because my hobby wanted me to do dry cleaning. I didn't want to, but he encouraged me, supported me, invested in it, and that was how we established the business, and I had to travel out. I went to the US and attended the DLI Dry Cleaning Laundry Institute in Maryland, and I came back and I was good to go.
This is really interesting because a lot of people don't really, I think one of the major issues that affect businesses is a lot of people don't take the time to say, okay, let me know this. They just feel, oh, and like you said earlier, they do it for the money,
Yes.
not really for the value that they want to give. So how has it been why did you, aside that your husband wanted you to do it, what opportunity did you see in that you were running?
Yes, there was a niche for it in Kaduna State then, because I remember us going around Kaduna. We went around Kaduna South, Kaduna North, and we saw some dry cleaning that had closed down. And I particularly, yes, he was an engineer, so we patronized some of these dry cleaning, and for me, I wasn't getting what we wanted. It was only, Prime Garment.
Oh, okay.
So Prime Garment was the only person we were patronizing then. Coincidentally, she knows me, I know her, and when she was leaving, I had to take over her space.
Wow. So it was as if everything just
It was a coincidence, because when she wanted to leave Kaduna, she didn't tell anybody. She told me. And she said, am I interested? I don't know how. Sometimes God does things in a way. And we were actually discussing this in the house. So when I went to relate it to my husband then, he said, that is an opportunity for us. Tell her we are interested. This is something we've been doing research on. So for me, the niche for it then, and again, there was no woman dry cleaner doing it. And he has already encouraged me. He's ready to, the encouragement, the motivation. And love. When love also helps.
Of course. Love really helps.
It helps. So when you're in love, whatever you are asked to do,
you do.
It. So far you are going to benefit from it. And actually, sincerely, today he's no more.
And he's still running. Oh, you said something earlier that piqued my interest, or that will lead to the next question that was to ask. You said you're the only lady, the only woman that was known to after she left. You're the only woman that was known to do that. How were people able to accept it? Because you were in a region that women in your status were not allowed to do certain things, or maybe it wasn't just accepted. So how were you able to break through that should I say barrier? Or yeah, so how were you able to break through? Yeah.
Barrier, it
And
was
how
a
were
challenge.
people able to perceive you to say, oh, yes, we trust a woman to bring
Doing
our
such
laundry?
capital
Yes.
intensive business.
Yeah.
I love this question because I faced a lot of challenges when I started Pure Garment. 6 months into the business, one of my coaches, because when I was launching the business, 3 of my coaches here in Abuja had to come to Kaduna
Okay.
to help me to launch the business. Yes, Dr. Bala, Coach Sam Obafemi,
Okay.
and Obinna. They were the 3 coaches that came. They are my coaches, they are my mentors. So they came to Kaduna to launch and also see the environment and left. Afterwards, Dr. Ogidon himself took over the project. So he was the one coming in and out. Even if he doesn't come inside the premises he's passing by, he will call. I just passed by. What is happening? So 6 months into the business, one of the coaches called me that I should do a letter to all the customers that had patronized me from day one to that 6 months. And I did. And one of the customers, someone, I still have his name, he's told me in Hausa, you are a woman, you can run this business. But I never responded. If you ask me why didn't I respond then, I don't know. And up to today, there was no response.
No response.
I told him, sir, I went with one of my staff. I said, we just come to, appreciate you for the patronage you had given us for the first 6 months into the business. And he told me in Hausa that he is giving me 1 year that I'll go out of the business. I didn't respond.
Oh.
The irony of it is that he's still a customer.
Till day.
So the challenge, I faced so many challenges because there's this belief, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, that women are meant to stay at home. Women cannot do this. I also have customers who refuse to
Patronize.
agree that it's a woman that is running it until I put myself forward, develop relationship with them, let them know that I am behind this.
So they didn't believe that a woman has been running this. They I
have customers that they want to go into the factory
to be convinced.
To be convinced that yes, I can do this. So when I started that, so I noticed some kind of, I feel as if they are coming to spy. So I stopped it.
Okay.
But if I see you are somebody with that is respected in the society, I know how to handle you. So I started that just to, when you start business, all you think about, you want money, you want people to know you. I didn't see it that way. But along the line, yes. So the challenge was like, recently, about 2 years ago, I even encountered one that even is 2 of my customers, when I greet them, they don't answer. And I have to find a way of trying to talk to them because I know they have women, they have girls in the house. I want them to know that as a woman, you should value women and believe in them, that they can do what you do not even think they can do. So it took me time to convince them. But now, in that environment, I think I am overcoming, or I will even say I have overcome those challenges. Wow. Where I'm having those challenges now is even outside.
Not there anymore.
Not there anymore.
So were there times that you felt that, oh, I can't take this anymore, let me just quit? Were there times where you feel like throwing in the towel?
Yes.
Oh God. But what kept you going?
I'll keep calling my late husband because sometimes I cry I used to cry. Then when I get home, I still cry. He said, "What's happening?" I said, "Today, a customer treated me like this." Sometimes in his presence, I have men, customers, well respected. They call me 9, 10 at night, and I put it on speaker so that he can listen. And by the time we are done with the customer, or I'm done with the customer, he tells me, "It's because you are a woman that they can't talk to men like this. So be patient." If I don't go out early to the office and I said, "Today I'm tired," because sometimes I leave the factory 9, 10. If I have orders in the factory that I have to work with my staff so that we can meet up with tomorrow's order. We don't want to disappoint customers. And coming back home late, by the time I get home, I'm late. Sometimes he goes out himself. There's no cooking that night. He'll just do. So you see that encouragement, the support, what I thank God. It's okay. Thank you.
Sorry that made you feel a bit emotional, and it goes to emphasize the need for support in not only in the family but in business. Now, talking about what you do as a woman leader, how has it been for you supporting women? Because in the North, we know the challenges that some of these women face. They might be willing to do some of these things, but because of the limit of their education or culture or religious biases, it hinders them. So how have you been able to break through this for other women? Because you have broken through. You've established businesses, you're running it. So how have you been able to encourage other women?
I've been doing this through my training because I have passion to train women and youth. It has not been easy, but at this stage, I am beginning to see the impact because of the feedback I am getting. The challenge we have in the North is that, but I think it's becoming, it's reducing. It depends in the industry again. And that was why I had that challenge and barrier I would say, when I started Pure Garment. Women are not given the opportunity to come out to speak, forgetting that women are the backbone of any community. When a woman comes out and speaks, whether she's an entrepreneur or in politics, youth tend to listen more than the men. That is my observation. And that is the more reason why I encourage more women to come out irrespective of their challenges, because challenges will never finish. Yes. So what I do is I mentor. There are people that to do anything, but when I call them, I speak to them 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you see the interest
arises. It's like a light that you've lit in their minds.
So what do they need? They need mentoring. They need guidance. They need encouragement. They need someone to motivate them. We had a retreat 2 days ago in Abuja here, and someone said she has been in business for 10 years. There's nobody to mentor her. I told her, you are not in the right network. Who is your network? I want to know. And she was looking at me. So mentoring is key. And when I say mentoring is not just about someone mentoring you in your business, even your life. Wow. Yes, because you can have a mentor to tell you how you can develop yourself personally before you even go to the business aspect. So mentoring, motivating them, encouraging them, telling them that they can do what they do not even think they can do. Let them look around themselves. What they are looking for is under their feet.
Now, you are saddled with this responsibility, but do you think that the government is doing enough to, number one, empower women in rural places, and are they doing also enough to mentor them? Because a lot of times when we hear about empowerment, women empowerment, is always at the subsistent level. It's not something that would make them will, like you said, make them to want to come out or for them to even be examples. So, in what way do you think the government can do this better, or are they really doing anything in that regard?
Say that the government are trying, but to some extent. And the government have to know that until they involve the entrepreneur ecosystem, then they can meet up with their target. Because I have relate and also train a lot of rural women, and I went as far looking for trying to connect with the governments that are to be engaged to those community, and connecting with them is difficult. So when you see the government shouting, sometimes trying to do something, it is when the election is come close, they start saying they are doing this, they are doing that, they are doing this. But in the recess of it, for me, it's just for that period. The moment election is over, nothing happens again. And that's the experience a lot of our women, especially in the rural community, are facing, because I relate with a lot of them.
Okay, so I want to find out what are what is the hardest part of doing business in Nigeria? Because if you're establishing, if we have governments that are not really participative or creating these opportunities, how can those that you're mentoring and bringing up really come out and stand as entrepreneurs themselves? So, what is the hardest part in
In the entrepreneurship
Yes.
ecosystem, the hardest part is the fact that the governments are not listening to the key people in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So it's actually difficult for us to dive into making that impact we want to make in the community. Business in Nigeria is very challenging.
Yeah.
So, and it is not for us to make this impact. It is not for the government alone cannot do it. Likewise, the private sector too, they can't do it alone.
It needs to be a partnership.
We have to be in partnership. So without the government listening to us, or not putting those people that are just self-centered, self-interest. You understand what I'm trying to say? Then we can work together and make that impact that we need to make, and making things easier, because it's a challenge that keeps on going from one government to the other. Yeah.
Beyond just making money, what has entrepreneurship given you? What was that fulfillment that you can say, okay, because of entrepreneurship, I have this?
It has given me that integrity. I want to say, for you to go into entrepreneurship, is not just about making money, profit, but integrity is key for me. Integrity is what keeps me going in my entrepreneurship journey. That's I'm if I focus on money too much, I love money, but the relationship, the integrity, I believe will now bring.
We believe this discussion and this conversation will go as far as reaching people in rural areas, not just the elite. What advice would you give to women in the rural areas who are limited by one beliefs or system or or who are limited in one way or the other? What advice would you give them?
Start to, come out and join the system, train yourself, be in the right network, relate with people, look for that connection, because it is not just about education.
Yeah.
It is about making impact in your society. So the little you learn today, you can go back to your immediate family, go back to your immediate community and make impact. So if they are not coming out, there's no way it keeps going. So let them just, I'll encourage them to come out, keep that resilience, and face the challenge, because it is not a smooth journey.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you coming to share your experience and your journey. And we hope that as you continue to make impact that will continue to expand.
Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate the opportunity, and I want to use this privilege to tell other women that believe in yourself, you can do it. Look around you and you will see that thing that other people are not seeing. Thank you.
As you've heard, believe in yourself, make the effort, take the steps, and you'll be surprised to see the opportunities that are just laying out there for you to take advantage of. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Successory Business Lounge. I am Chana Ijoga.